Now, throughout your life, you can have certain experiences and certain judgments that become logged in the subconscious mind, meaning you may not even be aware of these experiences anymore, but they're logged in your subconscious mind, influencing the way you view the world and influencing your decisions and actions. And we can have certain experiences that make us label money either good or bad. And the issue here is that if we're labeling good, we're going to sacrifice our life in pursuit of money. We're going to be infatuated with money, fearing the loss of money and fearing missing out on money. So in this situation, if we've got a label on money that it's good and something we have to seek after, we're going to sacrifice ourselves and our lives in pursuit of money, and we're going to be run by our perception of money out of the fear of losing it and the fear of missing out of it. So whenever we have a biased belief on money, labeling it good, we're now run by fear, run by the fear of losing that money and the fear of missing out on that money. We're run by this thing that should be a tool helping us facilitate fair exchange, but now all of a sudden we're run by it. And so too, if we're labeling money bad, then we're going to be run out of the fear of gaining money, out of the fear of gaining this thing we're labeling bad. And the moment we have money in our pocket, we're going to feel guilty and we're going to feel bad for having that money. So we can take this tool, this neutral means of fair exchange, and because of our unique life experiences, we can either label it good and sacrifice our life in pursuit, fearing the loss and fearing missing out on it, or we can label it bad, fearing the gain of it, run extrinsically by money. It's not until we reshape our subconscious beliefs about money and we see it for what it truly is, neither good nor bad. It's just a tool that helps facilitate fair exchange and helps us buy the experiences and the things we want and need in our life for us and our loved ones. It's not until we see it for what it truly is that we can transcend our labels on it and use money as a tool as opposed to it using us as a tool. If we have lopsided beliefs on money, labeling it good or bad, we're going to be run by it extrinsically out of fear. If we transcend our judgments and reshape our beliefs towards money and see it for what it truly is, then we can accumulate vast amounts of money unemotionally and use it as a tool for what it truly is and the purpose of what money is. Money is neither good nor bad. It's a neutral tool, a means of fair exchange. Just like we can take a hammer, which is a tool, and we can go and hurt someone with that hammer and label that hammer bad, or we can go and use that same hammer to build hospitals that help people and label that hammer good. Well, the truth is that hammer is neither good nor bad. If we narrow our perspective and we label it for one particular judgment, then we're going to label it good or bad, but that tool's a neutral tool. And we choose to use it how we use it. And on one side of the world, that hammer's used to hurt someone. On the other side of the world, simultaneously, it's building houses that shelter people and hospitals that help people. So is that hammer good or bad? Well, it's our choice what we label it, depending on our perspective of it. Now, we know we have incomplete beliefs and biases on money or anything really when we use language like always and never, all or none. Money is always good, never bad. It always helps relationships, never breaks relationships. Or it always breaks relationship, never helps relationships. These exaggerated languages are an indication we have biases. So what's really important is to identify whenever we're labeling money good or bad and identify what specifically we're labeling money good or bad for. Let's say, for example, we're labeling money bad. It's the root of evil. It hurts and tarnishes relationships. All relationship breakups are because of money. And that's maybe a exaggerated label that we have on money because of our unique previous life experiences. We want to log that because that's something that can affect our ability to become consistently profitable traders. And we want to identify the content. And then to break that bias and that belief, we want to find evidence of the contrary. We want to find where and when money has helped build relationships and brought people together and strengthened relationships. So we can see that money has done both. And it's neither good nor bad. It's a tool. It's a neutral tool depending on how we use it. So the way we reshape our beliefs is taking whatever lopsided belief we have, whatever label we have, and then finding evidence of its opposite. We also want to identify what beliefs we've injected from our parents, from authority figures, from our grandparents, from society around money. In particular, how much money is good to make and how much money is bad to make. And is there a certain threshold that if you exceed that, you must have done so in a greedy or in an illegal or in a bad way? Because we can sometimes have these injected beliefs of how we should make money or how quickly we have to make money or how much money one should have. If they have more than that, they're an evil person. These are subconscious beliefs that sit below the conscious threshold and they run us split seconds before we run ourselves. And if we're not aware of these beliefs and these injected beliefs from friends and family and from authority figures, they're going to run us as traders as opposed to us being in control. So you need to become attentive to any injected beliefs from authority figures, in particular around your parents, around money, around the good and evil of money, or how much money is right and wrong, or how quickly you have to make money, or how you have to make money. And you want to become attentive to these beliefs, and you want to put them under the microscope, and you want to ask yourself, who did I inject this belief from? When did I start believing it? Is it something that's helping me or hindering me in my unique journey? And you want to put it under the microscope to really analyze whether that's a belief you want to continue to hold on to or a belief that's wise to let go of.